Okay, so we're actually determining the amplitude and period of y equal to negative cosine of pi over 2x. Then graph the function for negative 4 less than or equal to x and x less than or equal to 4. All right, first step is to recognize the function is of the form y equal to a cosine bx. Okay, which means our period is going to be adjusted and we're going to have an amplitude that's different from the standard cosine. Okay, so what is our a here? Our a is -1 and our b is pi over 2. All right, so this tells us that our amplitude equals the absolute value of a, which equals -1, which equals to 1. And our period is going to be equal to 2 pi over b. So 2 pi divided by pi over 2. So we have 2 pi times 2 over pi. So the pi's cancel, giving us 4. All right, step 2 is to find the x coordinates or the values, the x values of the x coordinates of the pi special points. All right, in order to do that, we have to take our period and divide it by 4. So our period is 4, so 4 divided by 4 gives us 1. So we'll take our starting point at 0, since we know that the length is 4, the length of the period is 4, so it's going to trace out a full period between 0 and 4. All right, so x1 is 0, x2 would be 0 plus 1, which gives us 1, x3 would be 1 plus 1, which gives us 2, x4 would be 2 plus 1, which gives us 3, and x5, which would be 3 plus 1, which gives us 4. All right, step 3 is to find y values of the 5 special points. Okay, in order how to do that, you basically take each x values that we found and then substitute them into, or evaluate those x values at the given function. So our given function was negative cosine of pi over 2x. All right, so our first x value is 0, so we have a negative cosine of pi over 2 times 0, which is just negative cosine of 0. Cosine of 0 is just 1, so we have a -1 times 0, or excuse me, 1, which gives us -1. Next x value is 1, of course, so we have negative cosine of pi over 2 times 1. So we have negative cosine of pi over 2. So we have -1 times cosine of pi over 2, which is 0, which gives us 0. Next x value is 2, so we have a negative cosine of pi over 2 times 2, which gives us negative cosine of just pi. And we know cosine is -1 at pi, so that gives us a -1 times -1, which is +1. And x value is 3, so we have a negative cosine of pi over 2 times 3, which is equal to negative cosine of 3 pi over 2. So that's -1 times cosine of 3 pi over 2, which is 0. So -1 times 0 is 0. And our last x value there would be 4. So a negative cosine of pi over 2 times 4. So we have a negative cosine of 4 times pi over 2, which would be 4 pi over 2, which simplifies to 2 pi. So that gives us negative cosine of 2 pi. So cosine of 2 pi is 1. So we get -1 times 1, which gives us -1. Okay, so now we know our special points are. They're going to be 0, -1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 0, and 4, negative 1. All right, so we could use these points to plot our graph. Go ahead and number this from 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the positive x-axis, and to negative 4 on the negative x part of the axis. So negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and we're going to go up 1 and down to negative 1. All right, so our first point is at 0, negative 1 down here. And then we have a point at 1, 0. Then 2, 1. 3, 0. And 4, negative 1. And now we connect the points. All right, step 4 is to plot the points. And connect the points so that it resembles a cosine curve. And then step 5, extend the graph using the period. Okay, so then so I plotted the points, and now connecting the points with a nice smooth curve that resembles the cosine will look something like this here. Okay. Likewise, we extend it to the other side, so we can see that this point here would be positioned here because that's a length of pi. This point here would be positioned there since it's a length of pi. This point here will go there since that would be a length of pi, and so forth. And so we would get negative 4, negative 1, and negative 3, 1. Sorry, negative 1, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 1, 0, and then 0, negative 1. And then plotting the point or graph to look like cosine again. Looks something like this. And so that's your graph of this cosine, negative cosine of pi over x.